For more on China's efforts to reform its agriculture sector, let's bring in Sara Hsu. She teaches economics at State University of New York at New Paltz. Sarah,
Thank you,
great
Wang.
to see you. There's a lot of work to be done, and the Chinese government obviously just released this central document. What do you think are the highlights of this document? What can they do to resolve situations on the ground?
Well, China has been working hard to address these issues. Even a couple of years ago, they were working on specific supply side reforms in agriculture. First of all, the document states that China needs to completely eliminate poverty by 2020, which seems like a major task, but China is already set to do that. It has already lifted tens of millions of people out of poverty, and it is in the process of improving assistance in order to lift the remaining people out of poverty. China also is seeking to improve rural productivity, and this will involve reducing the high cost of production that farmers face and to better allocate resources, as well as to look at ways of integrating green production into the mix. And finally, for 2020, China is attempting to improve agricultural supply. And one of the items that is on the agenda is to improve the types of production and to develop the quality of the products, as well as switch to products that people have higher demand for.
What role do you think technology played in helping farmers prosper, sell their produce, and to better communicate with the market?
So farmers have been given access to the internet. This was an early goal. Even 10 years ago, the government was in the process of rolling out the internet to farmers to improve their crop yield and also to improve their connection to understand market prices and to available markets.
Well, to many neoliberal Western scholars, this type of central planning, 5-year plans, number one document, number two document, they really doubt about the effectiveness and efficiency of this type of planning system. How do you look at that?
I view it as essential to undergoing any type of major reform. And China has shown us that these types of policy targets are really effective. Once the government is trained on achieving the goals, it's able to get the local governments to rally behind them as well, and to get businesses and its citizens to follow the policies as well. So I think that they do not have a good basis for stating that.
Sarah, going forward, you've been to China many times, and also you've written extensively about China and the Chinese economy. What do you think are the challenges that faces the Chinese farmers?
Well, I think that it's challenging because China overall faces a slowdown in growth. They also have to overcome several supply side reforms and rising costs, which is increasingly challenging in the face of declining growth. But thankfully, consumer growth is also picking up, consumer demand. And this includes demand for certain types of food. There's a greater demand for items like dairy and meat. And this is something that the government is trying to shift focus towards and away from products with less consumer demand, such as certain types of grains.
Sara Hsu from the State University of New York, thank you so much for coming back to our show.